How's it going, everyone? Makini back here with another video, right? So I want to say welcome to this. This might be a little bit different. Why am I starting like this? Because I am making a YouTube video right now, but I'm also making what might be the first intro portion of a course, right? I would have never thought I'd be saying that right now, but I just been getting so many DMs, so many messages, whether it's through Instagram or Facebook, especially Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me, Makini.Thomas. I post more than just tourists, I post business things as well. And that is why I've been getting a lot of questions as well on just tours, because people know me as the dual health spectrum coach, right? What does that mean? That is something I'm trying to pioneer, because I just learned about a podcast, actually, Fit and Fresh podcast, because my boy Cushman Mitch was on, one of my mentors. And I guess they talk about health and fitness, but as well as like high stuff as well, but also finances. And that's what my dual health spectrum coaching is all about. Two separate businesses I have, right? One is going to be the fitness. Love helping people with their fitness, their health, getting in shape, or just getting healthier, alleviating and getting rid of diseases, or getting the symptoms to go down. And that's my passion. That's what I went to school for, study for. That's what I'll always be doing. But on the opposite end of my spectrum, right, that's the train_W_Mac Instagram. If you're not following that one, make sure you go as well. On the other end of the spectrum, for the other side, in financial health, I'm a business and entrepreneurship coach, right? That's where the tour and everything came from. I primarily help people under 25, so 18, 17 to 25-year-olds, make money from Wi-Fi, from their phone, and not always from Wi-Fi from the phone, but from things that require very little work, right? So whether that's social media, whether that's affiliate marketing, whether that's Turo or rideshare like Uber, DoorDash, whatever it is, pet sitting, babysitting, making flyers, selling their artwork, I help people with that. And that is what I'm here for. So this tour video is just one of those means that I've found to help myself and can help you guys. And I want to spread some more. So I get questions all the time about, how do I get started? How do I find the car that I want? How do I invest the money? Do I get cash cars? What makes more money, economy or luxury cars? Do I get a cheap car? Do I get an expensive car? Finance or lease? Insurance, how does it work with dealing with the cars, with moving, with cleaning, with spending your time? How do you park the cars? Do you have someone help you? What should I do with my personal car? How do I get my credit up? How do I fix? So I'm going to answer all of that during these next few videos. This one right now I'll put on YouTube for free. And if you're interested in that, I'm going to give open participation for free to the first 30 people that come into my course. And all I ask is that you leave feedback on this YouTube video and on the course as well, of how it helped you or how I've helped you so far. And I've already helped a few people start their business, right? I helped a friend of mine, a buddy from the Marines, who's killing it. He's a real estate agent down in San Diego. So if you want that real estate down there, I got you. But he's at making $5,000 a month already. He hit his first $5,000 a month, and he just got started about 2 or 3 months ago. He's on his second car. I believe he's picking up his third car. I believe he has a Tesla. And then he also has a Bronco, right? He's killing it. $5,000 to be made on your third month. That is a lot. Most people don't get that throughout the year on a normal salary. And that's in conjunction with his moving business and his real estate, right? And then I've helped other people just get started with 1 or 2 cars right now. And my partners, my business partners as well. So let's get started. So I'm going to be open and honest. I started Turo in July, late July. It was like July 16th, and that was my very first car. I got my 2018 Audi Q3, which is one of my top performers. Right now, I'm about 8 or 9 cars in total. That's with my partnerships and everything. I have a car in New York, Atlanta, Orlando, LA is where most of my cars are, and I'm trying to go into Houston, but Orlando is what I'm building up right now. Orlando, New York, Connecticut, technically, but yeah, so that's where I'm at. I started in July, so I'm not no expert in this, but because what I tell people all the time is that you want to learn from someone who just came from where you're at. You don't want to learn someone that's been in this industry for 15, 20 years, that works at Enterprise or whatever, because they don't know the ins and outs of being an independent car rental person, rental agent, or rental business. They know the old stuff. If someone started in a relay rides, which is Turo now, but it was called relay rides like 6, 7 years ago, they don't know how things change. I know someone who was starting with Tesla's Model Ys in Orlando. I got kind of connected to them in a little bit, and they got out of the Turo game this last year. even though for most people that was their best year, because they didn't know how to adapt and change and adjust to the new systems, and they actually hurt themselves with some crashes and rentals. But I'm here to kind of give you that experience. I have gone through total losses. I have gone through a car right now that could be a total loss. And you've seen that photo if you're on my Instagram. Plug again, if you haven't gone, go to my Instagram. And I've had other cars that had recalls or can't get posted or incorrect data, stolen vehicles. I've dealt with all of that and I know how to handle it, and that's what I'm gonna be giving you tips on now. Also, the stuff I've paid to get courses like Pushman Mitch, CEO, Matty J, Sonia Lewis, New to Entrepreneurs, different things like that. So let's go right now. I'm going to share my screen and just show you a little bit about, just to be open and honest. Let me see, window, man, share. Let me share my screen just to show you guys. Cool. So I'm gonna go to CarSync. So this is my revenue for this past month, right? This is the past month, last 30 days, 5,150, up 32%, 18% for reservations. My revenue is up 9%. It's been going up and up and up. And I'm at 16.7% utilization today, which means 16.7% of my cars are out right now. And that might not seem like a lot, but some cars just came back today, or some cars I'm renting privately off of this app. And this tracks my Getaround, my car share, and my Turo accounts right now, right? So as you showed, $5,000. This doesn't include the Lexus, the Jeep, the Chevy Traverse I have, and the Orlando Kia Rio, the 2019 Kia Rio, right? And just to show you some of my cars before I get started, right? Let me go to this. Oh, it might have to refresh. Let me refresh this real quick. Let me go show you some of my cars I have and just put it in real time. So let me make this smaller if I can. It's loading. Let's see if it stops loading pretty soon. It's not. It's still loading. So, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. So I got the Audi A4 right there in Atlanta. The Jeep Wrangler, that's changing from Atlanta to New York soon. The Chevy Traverse. We have the Lexus ES350. The Maserati Ghibli. If you want to see what just happened today, go to my Instagram or my Facebook. Nissan Altima. The Kia Rio. This is my old slide. I didn't add the Orlando cars there yet, but you get the gist. My cars right now. So going back to this, 5,000 plus 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 58. So that right there is about 3,800. So as you can see, so far I've gotten 38 plus 5, 1. So 8, 9. I'm at 9 for the month. We still got 13 more days. So about to have that special month hit this month. I'm aiming for that. And that doesn't include the rental I made from my Lexus yet. It includes everything else. So we have that going on right there. So I'm just going to go back. Let me stop the screen share. All right. So I'm just showing you hard proof, right? So 9K, what would you do if you had that amount for this month? Yes, I have other expenses, but I can be honest. Most of that is not, going towards my expenses. It's not at all, right? When it comes to getting started, you have to first start with what your goal is, right? When I started, my goal wasn't necessarily just to do Turo. My goal was to start a rental car business. And I just told one of my bosses in the fitness industry this the other day, but my goal is eventually, obviously I want to have kids, is to have financial freedom. And this is just one of the lanes to get it. I'm not super passionate about it. I am passionate about it because I travel a lot and know that some of these rental car companies can get over you. And the most expensive part about traveling sometimes is not even the flight or the hotel. It's the rental car. Right? If you think about it, you can get a hotel room for $60 a day in some places, but your rental car is going to cost $100 a day when it adds up the taxes and the fees and the insurance, right? Or you can stay at a parent's house, a friend's house. You still need a car to get around, or you're going to be stuck, or you're getting Uber, and that adds up. Same thing on a flight. You get a flight, probably $200. You can be there for a month. Even if your flight is $500, you can be there for a month. You can be there for a week. It's still going to be $500, right? But if you're there for a week, it's not that much. If you're there for a month, that adds up, right? I know people paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month for a rental car. And you might be like, why do you do that? Well, because you don't want to have to buy the car, register it, title it, get insurance. right? And then come back around, sell it later, right? Same thing, same process. You just rent the car, right? You can't buy a car every time you go on business travel, go on vacation. So that's part of the reason why I got started. One, I'm someone that travels, so I'm like, okay, when I go back home to Atlanta, maybe to go to Seattle, see my wife's family or whatever, like we would want to have a car there so that we don't have to rent a car. We can just use a car, have a car straight at the airport. Same thing when we come back to LA. When we come back to LA or Long Beach, we usually have a car at the airport. So we don't have to get an Uber to go home, get someone to pick us up like we used to before. We just hop in one of our cars, drive it, bam, take it back a little bit later on. There's been times where I flew out of a different airport like Burbank, and I had a renter there. I rented for 2 weeks. Guess what I did? I drove the car to Burbank. The lots were full, so I just valet parked it real quick. He picked it up 3 hours after I dropped it off. And guess what? That was a free ride to the airport. I didn't have to find someone to give me a ride, and it worked out, right? So that is one reason why. And like I mentioned before, the other reason is I just want to be able to give options to kids that are having, like, do you want the fitness? Do you want the real estate? Do you want the rental cars? What do you want to take over it? I wanted to have options for financial freedom for myself, but then to pass along and build that wealth or build that legacy, right? I'm doing this for my last name, not my first name. Need to think about that, last name over first name. So that's another thing. And then obviously getting to the place where I can drive the cars I really like for free. My dream car, Dodge Viper, which isn't super far attainable. But if you can drive your car for free, why not do that? And there's going to be some of you, right, that, like I mentioned earlier, you got to figure out what your goal is. Where do you want to be in 20 years? Where do you want to be 5 years? Where do you want to be at the end of the year? And you got to get there. I made that. I made my 6-month goals. I made my 1-month goals. And you got to go after that. So you got to think about it. Are you doing this just recreationally for fun, just to have something to do? Or are you trying to get a financial goal or get a certain level or prestige or whatever, right? The reason I say this is because when getting into this game, you got to realize, do I want to just pay my car now so I have a free car to drive, right? I know a friend who's in Tennessee who has a BMW. He said he just rented 2 days a week and it's enough to pay his car note. He probably could just raise his prices. Maybe, I don't know what his prices are, but I'm pretty sure most people's car notes is paid off when they do it right in 4 or 5 days a month. That means 1 day a week. You only need 1 day a week. So if you really want to use your car for personal reasons, you can just rent it out for 1 day a week. If you don't want people to drive your car, give it for video shoots. If you have a nice car, give it for certain things, right? Put an ad on it. There's different ways to do that. Put someone's Instagram logo on it. They'll pay you for that. You don't always have to do the traditional stuff like I'm doing or you see other people do. But you need to figure out where you're trying to go and where you need to start, right? So all this stuff that I'll be talking about can help you if you're trying to rent your car out for, just to cover the payment and then you drive it the rest of the month, right? I've done it where I've made last month, I made $2,000 on my Audi. My Audi's car payment is only $500 or something. That means for every 1 month of renting that Audi, I get 3 months of free driving because that 1 month, $2,000 pays for 4 months of the bill. So that means September, and then I get October, November, December for free. You can do it that way, or you can just do it where you rent it on the weekends, right? Or you can rent it during the middle of the week, your busiest days. You're at work 10 hours Monday through Tuesday. So you rent it out on Monday and Tuesday, and then the rest of the week when you have very low amounts of time at work and you need the car more on the weekends, you have the car on for yourself, right? So decide that. Afterwards, you decide where you want the car, right? This goes into one of my next things. I'm gonna go in the course, right? But you decide if you want the car locally so you can enjoy it, you want to give it to someone else so it's passive. You need to figure out how hands-on you want to be. One thing I do now, and I started doing it at the end of the summer, or beginning of the summer, I guess I should say, is I started tracking how much hours I put, not at work, but side hustling and outside of work. I did this because I knew where I wanted to be and I knew I wanted to get out of just working for someone and working for myself. And I knew I had a goal in mind, so I needed to track. So if you know you don't want to spend no more than 10 hours in this a month, maybe you want to do 20 hours a week because you don't have a job, or maybe you want to replace your career and you want to just do 40 hours. I know people like that who have quit 6-figure jobs just to do this, and they make 60, 70,000 every single month doing this, renting cars. Right, mind you, they have a whole system in place, but it's possible. So you need to figure out what your goal is and how you want to get there. Whether you want to be working 40-hour weeks, 20-hour weeks, 40-hour months, whether you want to do it with a whole bunch of cars or a few cars. Do you want to get into the economy car rentals where you can rent it out for months on end, or do you want to get into the luxury car rentals where you can enjoy the car when you have a special day, or you're trying to build up your brand for something, or you just want to have high income producing? So they might only rent one day, 6 hours a day, but they're producing a lot of money. The turnover is more, but you have a lot more income. Or do you want the cheaper cars, have more cars, but they're out for longer periods of time, which means less income, less work overall, right? So you got to see where you're at, what you want, and you're going to go after it, right? Next, you need to compare all the different websites or things like that. You need to realize, are you running a Turo business, a Getaround business, a Hyre Car, or car share, an avail business, a private rental business, or JV or brokerage? Or are you running a rental car business? If you're going through just doing a Turo business, then you just need to research Turo cars and how to get through Turo with listing and customer service and getting support, how they work with communication with that, how claims work and everything. Or if you're doing rental car, you need to see, all right, am I going to get this car? How's it going to do on multiple platforms, right? How's it going to do overall in my market? What is Atlanta like? What is LA like? What car fits there? Not just what car fits Turo, but what car fits that market. What do I see a lot? Do I see a lot of seasonality where people only come during the summer? Do I see consistent travel all year round? Do I have a place where people only come during the winter? Do I have a place where they take convertibles or is it SUVs or is it economy cars? Like, do I have space to park a truck in my parking lot? Do I have no space at all? Do I have to pay to store it somewhere? Things like that. So you need to figure that out. All right, so I would say, well, getting started, you need to figure out, one, your goal, your end result in a few years. Two, whether you want to be a rental car business or if you want to just be a Turo or Getaround host or whatever it is. And then you need to figure out which platforms work to get you towards your goal. Not all platforms work the same. They all have different nuances and different rules and stipulations. Like Hyre Car, I think it can be up to 200,000. Getaround the same way. Hyre Car, you need inspections. Getaround, you don't need inspections. Turo is up to 135,000, but they stop at 12 years old. Hyre Car, you can go later than that, right? You can have an older car. So it just depends. Do you want exotic? Do you want to go car share? Do you want the more economy? Hyre Car, plug-in hybrids or whatever it is. So you got to figure that out. So that's just the getting started part. Hopefully that answers some things, but you need to start there, and then you need to see what you're capable of, what you can handle, and then you also need to see where situation you're in right now, whether you have money or you want to leverage credit. Do you have an LLC made? I would say after figuring out those two ones, the next things you want to do is you want to create an LLC. You want to create multiple LLCs and if you want to know why, you need to follow my man, the Entrepreneur, or myself on Instagram, right? I don't know too much about that. I'm getting more involved, but I'm doing it myself. But if you want more information, definitely go follow him. And then so start multiple LLCs, right? Start doing the research on different cars, and we're going to go over that next. And then see, do you have a down payment or just all the money needed to get the car you want? And how's your credit? You need to know those things before you get into any of the next things I'm going to talk about. All right, once you got, and then how much time you have. How much time dictates which app you use, how you go about your rentals, the profits as well, and the cars you choose, right? So you have that. And the last one I forgot. It's not as important, but it's important to me. And this is how I'm leveraging my rental car business. When you get profits, what do you want to do with that money? You got to figure out what you want to do with that money. Do you want to go on more vacations? Do you want that money just to pay for your food? Do you want that money to pay for your house? Do you want that money to invest in real estate, invest in crypto, invest into NFTs, to invest into stocks? What do you want, right? So that's the last thing. So I'll just give you those right there. This is getting started. Hopefully this makes sense, but those are my steps for you to do to get started on this. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Send me a DM on Instagram at Makini.Thomas. And be on the lookout for my next few videos, which is going to be how to choose a car. All right, I'm going to just give you some of the things I'm going to talk about in this course. How to choose a car. How to go about financing, leasing, or buying a car outright. How to handle, the logistics of dealing with a car. maintenance, insurance, how to go about when it comes to getting damages on cars, or total losses, car crash, tickets on the cars. We're going to talk about choosing your market. We're going to talk about marketing and getting the income that you want. We're going to talk about scaling and growing, adding to your income. We're going to talk about so many things. We're going to talk about partnerships and JVs and brokerings and non-traditional financing methods. We're going to talk about how to level up and how to take some of your time away. Where when I first started, I was doing 32 hours a month on this. Now I got it down to 20 hours. 16 hours. I think this month I'm going for 22 hours, right? I'm going for under 20 hours a month in this business. So we're going to talk to you about how to do that, but then as well as how to help fix your credit so that you can start leveraging this more and more and more. We're going to be talking about different things, but those are some of the generalizations of what you're to look for, how to choose what type of cars, how to choose what market to put the car in, how to advertise it, how to talk about the car, and how to get this money, right? How to get this money. So hopefully this makes sense. This is 21 minutes. The next few videos, I promise you, will be under 7-8 minutes each. But this is it. See you guys in the course. Or if you're already in the course, see you guys at the end and in the comment section talking about how this benefited you, how you're going to implement it, or how it already has implemented it before. See you guys.